going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, I thought we'd quickly run over the kit that I've used here in case anybody wants to replicate a build like this for themselves. We'll start off with the car itself. The car is an FTX DR8. It's a 1/8 scale desert buggy. It has a Hobby Wing 150 amp ESC and a 2000 kV Hobby Wing brushless motor. It can run 6S, but I'll be running it on 4S today. In order to drive long range, I've swapped out the receiver for an ELRS receiver that you can see here. Now that we've looked at the car itself, let's have a look at the FPV side of things. I've got in this car a DJI O3 air unit, which is a digital FPV system. This is the air unit in here, tucked away, protected by the roll cage, with the two antennas poking out the top. These are upgraded antennas. They are Cherry Rush FPV antennas. I've installed a switch tucked away down by here for the air unit, so I'm able to turn the air unit on and off without having to disconnect the power leads. I've tucked it away down the side there just so it's not too obvious for any passers-by to come along and switch it off. To make sure I don't run out of battery before driving home, I've installed a voltmeter just in the field of view of the camera on the dash there, as you can see. I've lifted the roof of the car slightly to allow for a better field of view. And I've got the camera itself mounted on a servo, so I'm able to swivel it side to side to look around. Just for a better view of everything, here's the shell upside down. As you can see there, the servo poking out the bottom, that's the swivel cam servo. On the right there is the LiPo battery powering the air unit. One of the wires coming out of the bottom of the tray there is for the camera swivel servo. The other one is for the voltmeter. To control the car, I have here the Radio Master MT12 long range transmitter. It's the longest range ground RC transmitter in the world. To receive the video feed, I have here the DJI V2 goggles upgraded with the Mjolnir Pro antennas, as you can see here. And that's about it for the kit, so let's go break a world record. Using this bridge right by here as the landmark, as the reference point to measure the distance from. I'll be sticking to the coastal path in an attempt to keep as much line of sight as possible. There are walls in between and there will be obstacles such as trees and whatnot, but sticking to the coastal path will be the best bet to get the longest distance out of this. There's always time for a little side quest. Although I'm very grateful it's dry. It's still a very cold and windy day out, so I'm already feeling the cold at this point. With my lack of rear view, I'm really hesitant to jump into the bike lane just in case a bike comes up and squishes me. This guy was trying to wave me on by here, but I actually do want to stay behind him because he's clearing a path for me. At this early stage here, we're already further than I've ever been in this car before now. The longest range I've achieved so far is 0.5 miles, and today we're going for a hell of a lot more than that. behind this wall here, the video link strength goes down to 5 megabits per second, which is just about as low as I would risk taking it. There's always someone who's got to try and spoil the fun for everyone. I really do not know what this guy's problem was. He seemed to be offended at the sight of the car. He tried to run it over with his bike and then he tried to kick it as well at one point. And at this point here, as you can see, he's got his phone out and he's recording as if he's got something to report to the police, where really he's the one at fault, where he was trying to damage my property. But hey ho. These steps, is this a slope? Yeah, it's a slope. It's a slope. Now that we're down here out of the way of everyone else, I take this opportunity to try and warm my hands up a little bit because they are cold at this point. As far away as we are right now, the signal strength actually goes up by here, where we're in quite an open area. that's roughly where I am. I can see the Ferris wheel on the pier just in the distance over there, so we are very, very close now. It's at this point that I actually make the decision that with how cold my hands are, I could literally just about steer the car, and with how low the battery is looking and I've got a long drive to come back, I make the decision to actually drive back from this point here. I decided that it was long enough. 2.5 miles, a new world record. I did not mean to just nearly hit that girl's ankle there, and as you can see here now, her boyfriend retaliates. I usually stop and wave at children as they come out and to see the car, but at this point now my hands are so cold I really just want to get the car back so I can warm myself up. Really hoping that I don't come across that weirdo on the bike that I saw earlier, because I really don't want him picking up the car or doing anything with it. Fingers crossed. lot of people out today. This is why I've got the little Welsh flag on the back there. It's not just so I can represent my country, but it is to help people see the car quicker. Expecting to see that weirdo on a bike any second now. Sometimes you do just gotta give a wave. It's the low. It's really a stunning area down here. I drive through here often with my work, and it's a nice change to actually be down here, enjoy the space with my partner and my child, and obviously play with my toys as well. Shame about the cold, but hey, it's dry, I can't complain. I'm so wary of all of these cyclists because I'm expecting it to be that weirdo again and try and run me over like he did earlier. This girl's holding her hands up like, what? How are you doing this? How is this car following me? Nearly back to our start point now. Another very confused member of public. And who's this? We've seen these guys before. So that's it, guys, we made it back. 2.5 miles distance, 5 mile round trip, world record, boom.